starting at just $82.98 per month.
Wow. Being the Augusta guy means that you're getting myself and my staff, which was raised on the same values that fellow Augustans were raised on. All of us grew up here. If you are hiring somebody from out of town, they may not be as connected as us. I guarantee you that we are going to work extremely hard for you. You're getting somebody who's going to shoot you straight and tell you the pros and cons of your case, and also take the case as far as it needs to go to get what people deserve.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine.
So fast, so reliable, so much to love. For a limited time, get internet 1 gig for just $50 a month.
Wow.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, First at 5.
Another day of storms rolling through our area today in Grovetown. Well, it actually doesn't look too bad right now, but I mean, you're looking at the radar and you're seeing a lot of green. We want to go now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for the latest on where this rain will travel next. And Riley, it looks like it's covering most of our area.
Absolutely, Meredith. This cold front is kicking up another round of decent coverage of showers and storms across the area that will continue as late as it did last night. We were tracking showers and storms up until around midnight last night, and that does look to be the case again for us heading into this evening. So if you are heading out, keep the chance for some showers and storms at least through around midnight as this slow-moving cold front does pass through the area. So we are anticipating this to stick with us not only through tonight, but unfortunately again tomorrow. So Thursday, we're going to hang on to rain chances. Can't rule out an early morning shower Thursday, and as this continues to push through during the afternoon, that could set off a storm or two out there. We start to feel much nicer outside heading into late Thursday night, and throughout the day Friday, it should be beautiful. Mostly sunny, low humidity, temperatures below average in the morning and the afternoon, and that'll continue at least through the first part of the weekend. But if you are heading out this evening, rain chances do look very high for us, and you can see they actually increase a little bit once we get between, say, 8 and midnight late this evening and early tonight, and that will continue as we head into our Thursday as well. Temperatures right now in the mid-80s. By the time we get to sunset around 8 o'clock, we should be dropping into the 70s, and then we'll just kind of hover into the 70s most of tonight. We'll have an update on that nicer air heading our way in just a bit, but let's get a quick update on your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
All right, here's a live look outside of our building, Riverwatch Parkway, I-20. Traffic not looking to be too impacted right now here near the state line, so good to go if you are hopping on the interstate. As we look towards Columbia County next, this is a look at exit 190 Lewiston Road, and it looks like there is a good line of traffic kind of off the exit there, but Lewiston Road doesn't look too bad at the moment. You can see from our Grovetown cam, these distant showers and storms, these are going to stick with us, and we'll have an update for you coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks for that. The Garden Rescue Mission has just days left in its fight to stay open. The building it operates is up in the air. It's for sale after the previous owner died. The price tag attached, it is nearly $500,000, and the mission is now trying to raise enough money to buy their building and continue improving the lives of those in need. We go now live to Sydney Hood, who joins us outside the rescue mission. And Sydney, how much money have they raised so far, and how much more do they need? All right, we do have some technical difficulties there. Apologies for that. But Sydney tells us they roughly need to raise $80,000 more to reach their goal of $495,000. It is daunting, she says, but the faith there is stronger than ever. Now, they've had complete strangers reach out to them, asking them how they can help. When we were there 3 weeks ago, they weren't even halfway to their goal. Well, now the finish line, it's pretty close. The hope is strong for those rescued by the rescue mission and the one fighting to keep the place here.
We thought we was invisible, nobody knew about us, and now all of a sudden we find out that there's people everywhere that are just glad that we was here. We're going to stay right here.
Now you can help them stay there by calling their hotline and by donating. The number is 888-682-0485. Of course, we'll get that for you on our website in case you didn't have a pencil handy. Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, the man who has never doubted the place would close and why it is so necessary, he says it remains here. All right, also, information how to donate will be on our website, as I mentioned, along with that phone number. We'll check back in with Sydney at 6 o'clock. Convicted killer Alec Murdaugh is set to appear before a judge tomorrow in Charleston for more than 100 state and federal charges related to financial crimes. Murdaugh is currently serving 2 consecutive life sentences for killing his wife and son. Just last week, though, his attorneys announced they're asking for a new murder trial, claiming jury tampering. SLED is now investigating that claim. A former attorney connected to Murdaugh's financial schemes set to be sentenced tomorrow morning. Corey Fleming pleaded guilty to 23 state charges last month, including money laundering and criminal conspiracy. In a 3-2 vote, commissioners voting to adopt an ordinance that could have big impacts for historic Georgia Island. One here. The people of Sapelo Island have fought for months to bar a proposed ordinance that would nearly double the size of homes allowed on that island. Sapelo Island is currently only accessible by ferry. It is home to hundreds of years of Gullah Geechee history, and many worry new developments will take away from that. But those who live there say the fight is not over. Their next course of action includes creating a petition to stop the ordinance. In Georgia, gas prices are now roughly 30 cents cheaper. Have you noticed at the pump? Well, it's all thanks to a move by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. You're taking a live look at AAA's gas prices map, and you can see Georgia's prices are roughly 30% cheaper, 30 cents rather, than the national average. Yesterday, Governor Kemp announced he was suspending the gas tax through next month because of 40-year high inflation. So this shaves about 30 cents off the price of gas at about 35 cents for diesel. The order went into effect today. It lasts through October 12th. It could take a few days, though, for this to be reflected at the pump. So make sure you're checking on the signs. Around 14,000 jobs and counting expected to open up in South Carolina in the coming years. Our State House reporter Mary Green explains how South Carolina is using millions of dollars from the federal government to prepare the workforce.
More than 2 years ago, Governor Henry McMaster allocated a portion of federal COVID relief dollars for education toward training South Carolinians for high-demand jobs. On Wednesday, here at Trident Technical College's campus in North Charleston, the governor announced that more than 32,000 South Carolinians have since earned an industry credential through this program.
We are bursting at the seams because students need what we have.
The state has put more than $55 million in gear funds from federal COVID relief packages toward its Workforce Scholarships for the Future initiative. The 32,000 plus South Carolinians who have earned credentials through this program had up to $5,000 a year covered for tuition and related costs. In return, they have to pursue a credential or associate degree at one of the state's 16 technical colleges in a high-demand field like manufacturing, education, or healthcare. The head of the South Carolina Technical College system says its graduates have a 91% job placement rate in the field in which they're trained.
The reason these business leaders from around the world are coming here is because of the people. So we've got the raw asset. We have the diamond in the rough. All we have to do is polish it. And the way to polish it is with education.
The state legislature invested nearly $100 million in the current state budget into continuing the scholarship initiative. Reporting in North Charleston, I'm Mary Green.
Now, there's about $11 million remaining in federal funds in this scholarship program. That money has to be spent in about the next year, or else it goes back to the federal government. But the governor's office says it is confident that money will be spent by then. What do you do with a massive abandoned mall? In Columbia, county leaders hope that they have found a solution. It includes spending more than $70 million to turn the empty 2-story mall into a hub for city services. Now, this includes a family service center, public safety, 911 call center, county administration, voter registration center, and more. The plan details how this is perfect for saving taxpayer money while making the most of an eyesore. The final decision on this plan comes next month. Doctors are using cold temperatures to help ease pain and lessen opiate prescriptions. Just ahead, how this works. Riley?
Well, we have seen a good batch of showers and storms the last couple of days, but no one's seen more than Barnwell County. Just between Barnwell and Klein, radar estimates close to half a foot of rain over the last 3 days. Have a look at some more storms we're tracking just after the break.
After spending 26 days roaming the streets of the Garden City, Lenny the reptile has returned. Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're talking about his crazy journey back to the shoulder.
Time and 10.
Welcome back, folks. Here's a live look over the medical district, and you can see some very heavy rain on the south side of Augusta. How about that rain shaft? That is a fantastic view we have from our downtown Augusta camp. So if you're on the south side, I know you're seeing some very torrential rainfall at the moment, helping us cool off a little bit at the airport. We were at 85 just a few minutes ago. We're down to 83 degrees, and the winds picked up. Wind's been pretty much calm all day. We just now started to see an east wind around 5 miles an hour. Here's a look at it on our radar network. So on the south side, kind of, I believe that's Highway 56 down towards Gracewood. That may actually be Highway 25, I believe. So down through Highway 25, all the way to Mike Paget Highway towards Bushfield near the Savannah River, even around Beach Island, you're likely starting to see a few raindrops. Up towards the lake, we are seeing a decent storm right over Clarks Hill near the dam, and that is pushing into Edgefield County. And then way further south, we got a good line of storms just north of Millen, between Waynesboro and Millen there. Once again, another spot around Highway 25 near the Jenkins and Burke County line. And that's the main concern with storms, heavy rain, lightning, but just can't rule out maybe one of these storms does produce some strong wind gusts at times. All these are thanks to this cold front. This is what's eventually going to push all the way through by tomorrow, and then we should see some much nicer weather Friday into the first part of the weekend. Any plans though this evening? Definitely have the umbrella close by. It's going to be kind of similar to what we saw last night, to where we'll have these storms across the CSRA through at least around midnight tonight. Now for tomorrow, we are going to see a continued opportunity for more showers and storms, looking mostly dry in the morning, but as we heat up throughout the day, that will give way to some rain starting around midday, lasting through the afternoon. And as far as temperatures go, we should be back at least into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. But it will start feeling better. That backdoor cold front moves through Thursday, and then we are going to see much nicer conditions. But before it does push through, we are going to have decent rain opportunities across the area. So we've talked about a few spots that have seen some really heavy rain, so not ruling out that maybe some minor flooding issues if rain does continue in those spots, especially around Barnwell County. Here's a look at our temperatures. So Thursday, waking up upper 60s, afternoon highs still in the low to mid 80s. By Friday, we drop our temperatures off a little bit in the morning time and the afternoon, and by Friday, it should really feel fantastic out there for us. Heading into tonight, once again, even past sunset, can't rule out a few spotty showers and storms across the area. We'll eventually get down close to 70 by daybreak tomorrow, and then our wind starts to turn out of the northeast, and that's what's going to bring us some much nicer feeling air. You can see those rain chances don't really go completely away, though, until we get to much later Thursday night. Heading into Friday morning, low 60s to mid 60s for us here around the region, so feeling much better. High temps, upper 70s to low 80s. Great weather in store Friday evening for Border Bash, start of Arts in the Heart, Friday night football games. Just could not ask for better weather here for the second week of September. And then by Saturday morning, a few spots could actually hit the 50s. So a nice start to our weekend forecast. Here's a full look at that 7 days. So once again, continue to rain tomorrow, but much nicer Friday and Saturday.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. In the last year, more than 2,000 people in South Carolina died due to opioid overdoses, according to the CDC. In the upstate, one doctor is advocating for alternative pain therapies so patients don't have to mess with opiates. Carrie Beal shows us how.
Anxious but hopeful. That's how Sue McClellan describes her feelings right now.
This to me is my lifeline, my lifesaver.
She has arthritis in both knees, and the pain has gotten so bad that her doctor recommended a knee replacement. But that's not an option she wants right now.
My husband has just had a urostomy and depends on me for his care. And I'm not a candidate for replacement due to the downtime.
So we use ultrasound, we use this, and then kind of landmarks.
Spartanburg Regional Health orthopedic surgeon Greg Colbath told her about a procedure called Irovera. A handheld device is used to freeze the nerves so patients don't feel pain.
This nerve, it's kind of like right in that zone. It's not.
We got the chance to sit in during the procedure.
So basically it has little three prongs there that will then go underneath the skin, and we'll place this right here.
Patients are awake and it usually takes about 30 minutes. The real benefit of this technology is to not just get rid of the knee pain, it's to replace the need for opioids. Doctors can freeze the nerves before a big surgery.
We'll do the procedure a couple weeks prior to the surgery so they have maximum benefit, so that once we've done the total knee replacement, they're already seeing some of the benefits of the pain relief.
McClellan says overall, it wasn't that bad.
You feel that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to numb.
The only painful part of the procedure is probably the anesthetic injections. That, to be honest with you, that really hurts, but the actual aloe vera, really no pain.
Now, the pain reduction can last up to 6 months after the procedure. According to Ivera's website, no hospitals in our area perform the procedure, but some doctors in Athens, Georgia, and Columbia, South Carolina do. So just an hour and a half one way or an hour another. A new law is supposed to help keep emergency medical bills down. Coming up, why ambulance rides aren't covered by that law. We're back in a bit.
Rely on Ramjack.
Ambulance bills aren't being controlled like other medical costs. The reason? A gap in the law. Investigative reporter Carice Jackman, in partnership with KFF Health News, has one woman's story of a big bill and a push to hold down ambulance prices.
It's not something you want to see or hear. An ambulance coming to you when your life is at risk. But for many ground ambulance patients, the financial headache begins once they're back at home, opening their bill for the first time. When Yvette Hammond's 9-year-old daughter had trouble breathing, she took her to a nearby ER.
We got there, realized that she really was struggling, and they needed to transfer her to the Children's Hospital in Atlanta. What we didn't realize, though, is that that was out of network.
When she got her bill 4 months later, Hammond says she was in shock to see her daughter's 40-minute ambulance ride from one hospital to the next totaled nearly $1,000 out of pocket.
And it wasn't written anywhere. You guys had no idea until it was after the fact. Right, yeah. We were just assuming it was in network. There was no time.
When Hammonds got in touch with her insurance company, they explained that her total amount was $972. Her insurance approved $106, dropping what she owed to $865. But for Hammond's family of 6, it's an expensive bill.
In some ways, she's lucky because ambulance providers are generally out of network, and at least her plan has agreed to pay some of the bill. We get a lot of bills where the insurer just says it's out of network, so you're on your own.
Dr. Elizabeth Rosenthal, senior contributing editor of KFF Health News, says the current way patients are billed for ground ambulances often puts an enormous strain on patients.
Are you finding that Americans are having a hard time understanding ground ambulances and how they operate, but also paying the cost?
Sure. I mean, these are not insignificant rides. They often run in the close to $1,000, as this one did, sometimes $2,000, $3,000.
Rosenthal also said on top of getting the bill, patients have a hard time understanding what exactly they're paying for.
Not only do they charge for the ride, they're charging by the mile. They're charging if they put oxygen probes up your nose. They charge if they do an EKG. Like, every little bit of service is charged for.
The choices are even slimmer considering it's an emergency, and a law established to protect consumers doesn't even apply to an ambulance ride. In 2022, the No Surprises Act went into effect, giving consumers billing protections when getting emergency care, capping unexpected bills from out-of-network providers at in-network rates. The law covers air ambulance services, like helicopter rides to the hospital, but not ground ambulances. Our national investigative team reached out to 2 associations to explain ambulance costs from a business perspective. None of them responded or agreed to an interview. We also reached out multiple times to the ambulance service that transported Hammond's daughter and her insurance company. We're still waiting on a response.
I'm sure it's not just a problem here. It's all over, and people really need to know what they should be expecting as far as bills.
While the ride was out of network, Hammond's insurance did apply the amount she paid toward her in-network deductible. It said the reason is because no ambulance service is actually in network. Riley?
Well, rain chances will continue tonight and tomorrow, but much nicer weather Friday and Saturday. We'll have a full look at the 7-day forecast just after break.
Come to B&B Ford for Ford.
A massive inflatable dinosaur in one Atlanta neighborhood is a beloved resident, but it's also causing some to ask if this thing's actually allowed. A stretch of Dunwoody Club Drive has become known as Dino Woody after inflatable dinos started popping up there during the pandemic. But now the city is investigating whether or not the dinos are allowed at all under its policies for signs and inflatables. Many are now standing behind the inflated T-Rex saying, come on, it's all in good fun. It is kind of funny. A dino
I'd never heard of that before, but
yeah.
Good play on words, Dunwoody, Dino Woody, and I mean, that's a very nice part of Atlanta, right? Like
yeah.
Dunwoody,
yeah.
So it's kind of hilarious that these really nice homes are just giant, putting up these giant, obnoxious inflatables.
We all did weird things during the pandemic, let's be honest.
100%, 100%. But I'd say keep them. They're fun for the kids, walking around the neighborhood.
Of course.
A little dinosaur. And you get to learn about dinosaurs.
And Halloween is coming up. We could just call them Halloween decorations, right?
Absolutely right. So keep Dino Woody at least through the month of October, I'd say. And then you can switch out for some Christmas decorations. Hey, here's a live look over the medical district. You can see some very heavy rain in the distance, so this is impacting South Augusta. Just starting to see some lightning with this storm, so it is getting stronger, and we're looking at a fantastic view there from our downtown Augusta camp. Here's the way it's looking on our radar network, so that heavy rain right over Bush Field, actually, and now starting to push over into Aiken County, New Ellenton. You're starting to see some heavy rain. Keep the rain gear close by if you are heading out this evening. And unfortunately, you'll need it again tomorrow.
Yeah, it was quite a lightning show last night. Hopefully it won't be like that tonight. Much more after the break.
They say